As a foster parent for over 22 years, I'm going to give you 10 reasons not to become a foster parent. What's up, you all? This is Duke Cox, and I'm just talking about life. All right. Reason number one not to become a foster parent. Do not do it for the money. They do not pay you enough. This is a 24-hour job. It works out to a few cents an hour per day, per week, per month. These kids, you're responsible for them. If they're sleeping and if they decide to leave in the middle of the night, or if they're in school and you're at work and you get a call from the school saying, hey, we need you to come and pick Duke up because he's tearing the school up. It is not worth doing it for the money. There's a whole lot of other reasons why it is worth it. And we'll talk about that in another video. But it's not worth it for the money because you are their parents. So you're responsible. The money that they give you is actually called a stipend. You're not taxed on it, anything like that. Now, if you're super frugal, you could definitely make it work. But this money is given to you to help support the child, to buy the child clothes, to buy the child school supplies, to get the child in ballet or travel basketball or whatever it is. Remember, this is your child and you are responsible for their everyday living. So the money that you get is used for that. Number two, do not become a foster parent if you need control. You cannot always control these kids. Your job is not to control them. Your job is to manage their symptoms, give them love and support. You're not always going to control what these kids do, how they talk, what they think about. You do absolutely need to set boundaries. And whenever you get a child first coming in your house, you're trying to figure them out. They're trying to figure you out. It might be a struggle, right? You set the boundaries, but you can't always control what these kids do. So if you are a control freak, most of the time you can't even control what your own kids do. Do not think you're going to be able to totally control these kids once they come into your home. All right, number three, if your relationship with your partner is not solid, do not become a foster parent because you both are going to be on the same accord. If you have a partner, y'all are going to have to be on one page to help this child. Your goal is to help this child, not control them, not manage them. Your goal is to try to help this child. So if you all are already struggling in your relationship, don't bring any more pressure and any more tension into the relationship that could cause that relationship to fall apart because these kids are watching you. And sometimes these kids have picked a favorite and try to pit you against each other. Like, these kids are smart. They seen this at home, right? Which is probably one of the reasons why they're in foster care, is because some things did not go right at home. So if they see that y'all are constantly arguing, they're going to find out the one that they can get the most from, and they're going to be on their side, and they're going to be against the other person, and that's going to cause a whole lot more stress. So if your relationship is not solid, do not do it. I'm looking at my notes over here as I turn. So number four, do not become a foster parent if you're easily offended. These kids may come in and they may call you out your name. They may curse at you. They may pick on you. If you're easily offended, do not become a foster parent. Remember, these kids have emotional issues. They have boundary issues. They have, and this is not always the case, right? Sometimes you get an amazing child that come into your home, but you don't need to just bring kids and then kick them out and bring somebody else in and kick them out. These kids they need somebody that's going to stay. They need somebody that's going to be planted and somebody that's going to fit in with them. So a lot of times, once these kids know that you don't play, right? You could be stern. Once these kids know that you don't play, the offenses and all that stuff will normally go away. They see that you actually love them and care about them. At first, they're not going to care because they just want to be home. All right, that's just a part of life. They want to be home. So if you're easily offended, do not become a foster parent. Number five, if you expect gratitude, don't do it. These kids are not going to come in and say, thank you for everything that you've done. I appreciate you. I care for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No, more than likely, you're not going to get a single thank you because a lot of these kids don't know how to say thank you. After a while, these kids become more like you, right? You can mold and shape these kids into your environment, right? These kids are pliable. They may be rigid at first, but after they see that you care about them, these kids can actually become pliable. But If you're thinking they just gonna come in and say thank you for everything, that's not what you're there for. You're not there for these kids to make you feel good about yourself, right? You may fix these kids the best meal. You may give them the best birthday party. And sometimes they may say thank you, and an hour later they're doing something totally against what your rules are. And then you have to just lay the hammer down again. So don't do it if you're expecting gratitude. Number 6, don't do it if you cannot handle attachment issues. This is the number one reason why people say they don't want to become foster parents. I don't want a child to leave. I get to love that child, I get to know that child, and then that child leaves. The goal for foster care is not to help you build a family. The goal for foster care is reunification. It's to try to get the kids back with their home. We've had over 70 kids in 22 years come in and out of our home. Some had came for the weekend, some had been with us for 5 years. One we actually adopted. That's my boy, that's my son. So don't think that these kids are going to come in and they're going to be a part of your family and they're going to take your last name and people are going to say, oh, they look just like you. No, these kids can leave, right? And people ask me, well, don't you get sad and cry whenever some kids leave? Yeah, there's been some kids that had left and I was sad and I cried. And there's some kids that had left and I was so happy that they left, I cried. Some of these kids, I can't wait to get out of my house, just to be honest with you, because we don't fit, right? Or they become aggressive with other kids. But there have been kids where I was like depressed that they left. I didn't want them to leave, but I know that's the goal. The goal is reunification with the family, all right? Number 7, don't do it if your schedule is already full. I know, me saying that, and I work 4 jobs. I'm a real estate agent. I'm a mobile crisis counselor. I work for 2 intensive in-home teams. I'm a caregiver for my wife who has Huntington's disease. I'm a father of a son, father of a college-age daughter, and a foster father. I know, but I make it work because I've done it for so many years. I know how to spend that one-on-one time with each of my kids, including my foster kid. We do spend a lot of time together. I take them to school every day. I pick them up from school every day. And then we have our movie nights. But some people, right, they can only work 1 job and then they come home and crash. And that's their schedule, right? Because you've been so used to doing you, sometimes bringing in another person exacerbates that. Sometimes bringing in another person and you can't go hang out no more, right? So if your schedule is full, do not do this because these kids need your love and your support. They need it. They need it. I'm telling you, they need it. They need your love and support. All right. Number 8, do not do it if you're not willing to learn trauma. Some of these kids are coming in with so much trauma, more stuff than you've ever imagined going through, right? Excuse me. So some of these kids, they're going to go and they're going to see a therapist on a regular basis, right? And you're going to be upset because once they see their therapist, it's not like their therapist is going to pull you to the side and say, hey, we talked about this and that. The therapist is supposed to keep their information confidential unless they're threatening to hurt themselves, threatening to hurt somebody else, or being sexually abused or physically abused by somebody else. Then the therapist is a mandated reporter. They must report these issues. But other than that, you're not going to know what these kids are going through. And the therapist is working on their trauma. But what you can do is go to the therapist and be like, okay, based on what y'all talked about, can you tell me how can I support Duke this week, right? Learn about the trauma that they're in and really try to help and support these kids. We want to rehabilitate these kids. If at the most, like we are the parents, they go see you more than they're going to see their therapist. So we have to get in and do the deep work. All right. Number 9, you're not here to save kids. Some of these kids don't want to be saved, right? Some kids do. Some kids are looking for a family that's going to take them in. Some of these kids have been in 10 and 12 foster homes, unfortunately, right? Some of these kids, because they've been neglected by even foster parents, right? Man, I'm telling you, one of my number 1 things of a foster parent is abusing or neglecting a child. This is wrong for me, but I pray something bad happens to you. Because these kids are here because something bad has already happened to them. And you don't need to make it worse by mistreating these kids. So you're not here to save these kids. You are here to help these kids. You are here to encourage these kids. You are here to guide these kids. But you can't save them unless they want to be saved. All right. Number 10. Don't do it if you expect outside support. If you expect that everybody in your family is going to jump in, your friends is going to jump in, and they're going to say, hey, I want to spend time with Duke. Hey, I want to take Duke to the movies, to the baseball game. Hey, we're going out of town. It's not going to happen, right? This is your gig. This is not your family's gig. If they jump in to help, that's amazing. But don't expect for them to just jump in and say, hey, this is just as much my child as it is yours. Some parents become foster parents and then they think they can just go dump their kids off on their mamas and their siblings or whatever. That's not what you're there for. You're there to be there for these kids. You're there to help support these kids. So I'm going to do another video in which I talk about 10 reasons why you should be a foster parent. But I'm telling you, man, these are some big issues that you got to think about. So number 1, don't do it for the money. Number 2, don't do it if you need to feel in control. Number 3, don't do it if your relationship at home is not already solid. Number 4, don't do it if you're easily offended. Number 5, don't do it if you expect gratitude. Number 6, don't do it if you can't handle attachments or losses. Number 7, don't do it if your schedule is already full. Number 8, don't do it if you're not willing to learn about these kids' trauma and about what these kids are going through. Number 9, don't do it if you're here to save a child. You're not here to save a child. You're not their savior, right? For me, God is the savior, but you're there to help refocus these kids. Number 10, don't do it if you're expecting outside support. These kids are your responsibility. All right, this is Duke. Peace out.